Okay, welcome. So if you have a couple blocks, grab those. You can always put books as well. Just place them towards the top of your mat because that's where we'll use them. And then find your comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall. You might pull some flesh out from underneath. You might prop the hips up on a blanket or a pillow or even a block. And then find a length in the spine. Let the crown float up towards the ceiling as the tailbone draws down towards the center here. Check in with the shoulders, maybe gently roll them back, just opening the heart slightly. And then start to let the eyes close either completely or to a soft gaze towards the floor. And here, just notice. Notice how you're coming into your practice. Notice what you're bringing with you. Welcome it all, because it's just part of the present moment. You don't need to label it good or bad, right or wrong. Notice the state of your physical body, mental body, and emotional body. And then remind yourself that this too shall change. It's ever changing. And this present moment right here is different than the one a few moments ago. So take this present moment, become aware of your environment. You might hear sounds around you. Maybe the air on the skin. And shifting that awareness inside to your internal landscape. And just noticing the breath. Noticing the breath as a bridge from the outside to the inside, from the inside to the outside. Watching it as it enters and exits the body. Feel the breath as it comes in and moves deeper into the torso. Feel the breath as it gently leaves the body. By just paying attention to it, you might have noticed that it started to change a little bit. You can choose to bring intentional change in by just making the choice. Inhale a little more fully through the nostrils, deeper down into the belly. Exhale slow and soft out the nostrils, letting belly button melt back towards the spine. A few more mindful breaths like that. Let it come with ease. We're not looking to create stress. Just do the best you can, taking it in and out through the nose. And attempting to pull it deeper down into the belly. Filling up the lungs more fully. Not just the top half, but moving the breath deeper into the bottom half of the lungs. And then allow your exhale to grow and lengthen. Now that we are a little more connected to ourselves, the stillness and beauty that lives within, let's bring the palms together and connect and unite as one. Allow your breath to be the web that connects all of us. Take a nice full inhale. As you exhale, feel the connection with everyone in this group, in your community, city, state, country, world. Exhale. Take one more breath like that. Big breath in. Big breath out. The fingers clasp. Press the palms towards me. Press them away from you. Round the spine, tuck the chin, pull the heart to the back wall, feel the shoulder blades spread. Take another breath there. Inhale, palms reach up towards the ceiling. Big inhale, big exhale, round down through the sitting bones, pull the ribs back in. And then gently release the hands and float them down by your side. Once the hands land, feel everything that's connected to the earth. Lengthen up through the spine. Take a nice full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, left arm lifts, breathe it up. And we reach up and over. You might crawl the right fingertips a little further away. Think about reaching out those left fingertips, ground down through the left hip, and roll that top shoulder open a little bit. Good breath. And then very mindfully, we're going to reach the left fingertips beyond the right knee. So take it forward, round the spine a little bit, pull the tummy in to keep the back safe, reach the fingertips, and then slowly let the hand come to the floor in front of that right knee. Mindful of your back and your body. You can crawl the right fingertips over to meet the left, and then walk the hands further away so the heart is reaching towards the right knee. Just to the point that feels right for you. Chin might tuck a little. Take a nice big breath into those openings. Very gently start to walk the hands one little bit at a time towards center. Feel the body and the back unravel back into alignment. And when you come to center, take a few breaths, let the chin tuck, maybe the elbows bend and become heavy to the floor. Big breath in, big breath out. And then rooting the hands down, we'll start to curl the hands back in towards your ankles. Sitting up nice and tall, rolling shoulders when you arrive, come through center. Take a nice big breath here, realign and recenter. Let's bring the hands to heart center again. This time we're going to clasp them the uncomfortable way, so the more of the unnatural way. So it'll be the opposite of what you did before. And then send the palms towards me around the spine, tuck the chin. With the shoulder blades spread, take a nice full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, palms reach up towards the ceiling. Stretch it nice and long and tall, take up space. And then gently release the hands and let the arms just float down. When the hands touch the ground, tune into everything touching the earth. Reconnecting, feeling your breath. On the next inhale, we'll float the right arm up. Reach up and over. You might crawl the left fingertips out. Or down through that right hip. Shoulder rolls open, drop it in a little deeper, maybe if that feels right. Another breath or two here. Then we're going to start to take those right fingertips. Start to roll the shoulder in a bit, the heart melts towards the knee, and reach the fingertips towards the wall past that left knee. And then very carefully, mindfully place the hand towards the floor in front of that left knee. And you might crawl the left fingertips into the meat and walk the fingertips further away to get you a little deeper into that stretch. Try to keep the sitting bones grounded. Nice full breath, breathing into the opening in the right side line. And slowly walk the hands back through center, just unraveling back mindfully. When you come to what's center, we'll take 2 or 3 breaths here. Let the head be heavy. You might bend the elbows if that feels right for you. You can always be up high as well. That's okay. Wherever you are, just take another couple breaths. And then begin to root the hands down, walk the hands in towards the ankles. Slowly lift up, roll the shoulders. When you arrive, open the heart, take a nice full breath in. And a full breath out. Beautiful. Let's crisscross the legs in the opposite direction. So the opposite leg is in front or on top. And then check in and notice what that feels like. I'm guessing not as comfortable since you can that side, but maybe that's not the situation for you. Just notice what your experience is, and then sit up nice and tall. Take a nice full breath in and a full breath out. Sweep those arms out and up again with your inhale. And as you exhale, we'll find a little twist, taking the right hand to the floor behind you, left hand to the knee. Lengthy in the spine, and then start to open the heart over to your right. Your shoulders relax down. The spine should be straight up and down with a spiral, happening, not leaning back. And just taking another couple breaths. Eventually, the gaze might go towards the back wall, but keep the shoulders relaxed. Jaw soft. Only take it as deep as feels right to you today. Full breath in, full breath out. With inhale, find length in the spine. As you exhale, belly button and hands come around, bend the heart, bend the head. Then we reconnect to a neutral spine with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Stretch the arms out and up with a big breath in. And then as we exhale, we take it to the other side, right hand to the knee, left hand to the floor. You don't have to go as deep as possible, sit up nice and tall. And then just be where you are, breathe, and you might find that you melt a little deeper into the twist, the spiral, shoulders out of the ears, face soft, breath. Letting the gaze go to the back wall. Another couple breaths. You know, just breathe and melt. As you inhale, you might sit up a little taller, find a little more length. You might even come out of the twist a little bit. And then exhale, find a little bit more of a spiral without breaking yourself. And taking a nice full inhale. As you exhale, belly button pulls in, we unravel one vertebra at a time. 5%. Roll the shoulders when you arrive with a big breath in, and as you breathe out, melt them down. Take the hands forward. If you can bring them to the floor, do that. If that doesn't work for you, keep them on your shins. And then roll the shoulders back. The tailbone reaches behind you. The heart shines forward. You can even use your hands to pull the floor towards you. That's going to send the heart forward even more. Another couple breaths there. Feel free to stay just like that, or you can take the hands forward a little bit more, but pull the floor towards you so you're really finding length in the spine. A little deeper into the hips and the thighs, maybe. You decide if you want to come in deeper, you can do that, but we're not collapsing. We're actively pulling the floor towards us. So getting that length in the spine. Keep the tummy strong. Another breath or two here. Good. Let's mindfully walk the hands back, sit up nice and tall. When you arrive, lean back, let's release the legs straight out of the front. Dandasana, flesh out from underneath. Let's see where things are at. Like this as a point of centering and reconnecting. So press down through the heels, up through the toes. Press through the ball joint of the big toe towards the camera. A lot of times our feet will kind of sickle in. Let's see how that feels for you. And then root down through the thighs, lift up through the heart and the crown of the head. And then you can even take your hands down by your side to find more length in the spine. And then let the shoulders and elbows relax. We keep that length in the torso. So everything is working, pulling in and up mindfully. And breathe. Breathe into your center line. Another good breath here. Go ahead and take the hands behind you. We'll bend the knees, take the feet a little wider than your hips, and just windshield wiper. Just being curious to what things feel like in there this morning. And then pausing. I'll take the legs straight out wide. Take them as wide as they'll go comfortably. They don't have to go as wide as possible. And if you're rounding into the low back, you might take your feet in a bit. You might even sit on a blanket. It's a great spot to sit on a blanket and let the pelvis roll forward like a bowl. Take the hands behind you without leaning back. So we're staying straight up. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Fingertips press into the floor, lifting the heart. Shoulders come out of the ears. Press energy out the heels, toes point up. Pull the tummy in, pull the ribs in. My body is notorious for popping the ribs out. Let's take another couple breaths here. Really grounding down through the legs. Big inhale, big exhale. And bend the left knee and take the heel towards the inner thigh or the groin. Let it line up with the heart. Make sure you don't fall into that bent knee. If you do, put a little blanket or block underneath it that pulls the sitting bones in. Again, you can stay where we are with the hands behind you, lifting up and out if you feel enough going on there. Or you can start to just take them forward and just hinge. So you'd be pressing the floor away from you, with the hands behind, finding that lengthy spine, getting you deeper into the hips and the thigh. And then if you want, you can take it forward, but try to keep some length in the spine as you just melt yourself to the place where you want to hang out for a few breaths. And you can always change your mind. Remember, we're not collapsing. Be with your breath. Try to stay with a longer, taller spine, shoulders out of the ears. Those right toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Energy's pressing out the heel. Full lengthy breath is anchoring you. Even when your mind wanders, just bring it back into your body and your breath, here and now. Body and breath, here and now. A full inhale and a full exhale. Rooting hands down. If the elbows are bent, begin to straighten them, lift the heart. Slowly bring yourself back up. Take your time. When you arrive, just notice. And we'll take that straight leg and bend it. Bring the heel in front of the hip. Either stay just like that or scooch this knee towards the front of the room. And the left heel will come towards the right hip. But make sure that both sitting bones are on the ground here. A lot of times we do this and we kind of roll over to one and hang out on one bone. Let's make sure both bums are on the floor. Okay. Sit up nice and tall. So you can stay just like this. If you cross over, make sure that your foot can be flat and both sitting bones are on the floor. So you can cross over if that works in your body, but you certainly don't have to. You can stay just like this. So inhale, lengthen the spine, sit up tall. And then left hand comes to the knee, right arm shoots up, big breath in. And we're gonna reach the arm for the back wall. So start to open the heart over to the right. Keep pulling that knee across the midline so that it doesn't collapse out. And then reach the right arm to the back wall, opening up the shoulder. Palm opens up towards the ceiling. Nice big breath here. And then you can mindfully release the hand to the floor behind you. Keep that back shoulder rolling open. Lengthen up through the spine, exhale, we find a little bit of a deeper twist, but pulling the knee, gently pulling the knee across the midline so we get into that outer hip more. And then root the right hip down towards the floor. With a full breath here. We're gonna come out the same way we went in. So right arm's gonna reach to the back wall, palm faces up, lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the armpit, shoulders rolled open. And then slowly take it towards the ceiling. Spiral back through center and relax the arm down. Let's take both legs out wide. Sit up tall, squeeze the shoulder blades together and lengthen up through the spine. That's energy out the heels. Nice full breath. Go ahead and bend the right leg, bringing the heel in towards the groin. So you can line up with the heart, flex the foot, ground down through the thigh and the heel. Okay. Hands can start to stay behind you. Lift up and out of the hips. Make sure shoulders aren't creeping up. Keep them away from the ears, heart lifts. Feel free to take the hands a little closer and hinge forward. Soften the jaw with things. And if you want to take the arms in front, you can do that. But try not to round forward. You want to keep that heart lifted. Lengthening out the spine. Pulling the floor towards you. Just going inward, letting your breath guide you. And as you bring awareness to the here and now, body and breath, you might notice with love and compassion, any distractions, the mind wanders, or you begin to judge or critique yourself or anybody else. Noticing that. Noticing what that inner voice says. Recognizing that you are the breath. You are here now. The voice is just a voice. Just a few more breaths here. Notice if there's clenching, release the jaw, face, the glutes. And rooting your hands down, low tummy pulls in, start to lift the heart. You're moving forward and slowly bring yourself back in. When you arrive, roll the shoulders down. Take that straight leg and bend it, place the heel in front of the hip. Hips stay rooted down as you might start to scooch the right heel closer to the left hip. Again, check in, make sure sitting bones are on the ground. You can cross over, but again, hips stay rooted. So if that doesn't happen when you cross over, then don't do that. Keep it here. And then I'll lengthen up through the spine. Right hand comes to the knee. Left arm's gonna come forward and up. Big breath in. As we start to open the heart towards the left. And then let the fingertips reach towards the back wall with the palm facing up. Like ta-da! Keep reaching those fingertips to the back wall. Open up the shoulder, the armpit of that left arm. And then gently place the hands to the floor. Try to keep that shoulder rolling open. Heart lifts. Gaze goes to the back wall. Pull the knee across the midline gently. Raise that outer hip a little bit more. Take another good breath here. Big inhale, big exhale. Then as you inhale, sit up even taller. As you exhale, I'm going to start to reach the left arm to the back wall, palm facing up, take up space. Make sure your core is engaged, supporting your back body here. And then slowly guide that arm up towards the ceiling, spiraling back around through center, and eventually the hand can come down in front. When you arrive, let's take the hands behind you. We're going to take those legs out wide. So let the knees stay bent, feet to the floor. We'll just reach the white for a little bit. And then pausing here, you might want to come off of your blanket here. Have a little balancing fun. It's less fun when you're on a blanket or a pillow. When you arrive here, allow your feet to come in towards center, knees wide. And sit up tall. Then take your arms to the inside of the legs and grab hold of the outer edges of the feet. If you want to grab hold of the ankles, if that's more comfortable for you, feel free to do that. And then start to lean back, lift one foot, lean back, lift the other. Roll the shoulders back, lift the heart as though there's a string pulling the heart to the ceiling. Pull you up and out of the low back, tummy pulls in. Feel free to stay here, use your drishti. Find something to rest your eyes on. If you like a little more play, start to straighten the legs one at a time. Maybe straighten one leg. Maybe it doesn't go straight. It could stay bent. That's fine. Try to just stay out of the back body. Keep the heart lifted. Just go to the place that feels right for you. Maybe both legs. Lift the heart. Soften the jaw. If you've made it here, you might take the feet even wider. Let that heart lift. Another breath. And then we'll bring the feet very slowly to center, like a very high boat. Bring the legs together. Just be where you are. And if you're here, you might let go of the legs. Reach the arms out to the sides. Lots of energy. Another breath. And then slowly lower the feet down. Away just a little bit. Another breath here. And then bend the knees. Place the feet to the floor. Give yourself a hug. Let the head rest on the knees. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Start to lift up the heart. Roll the shoulders. When you arrive, we'll just make our way around. Take it to tabletop. Spreading fingers, move through. Little cat-cow here. If you want some padding under the knees, that's always welcome. Inhale, heart open, shoulders roll back. Gaze can be forward on the floor a bit. And then exhale, round the spine, pull it all in and up, tuck the chin, tuck the tail. Just move through your rhythm, your breath. One more. Come to neutral. We'll let the big toes come together to touch. Let the knees go a little bit wider, maybe a lot wider if you want to get it to hips. And we'll press the hips back towards the heels. We'll take a few breaths in child's pose. Let the forehead rest to the floor or to a block or blanket. Take a couple of good inhales and good exhales. And your next breath in, slowly come back up through tabletop. Fix the legs so the knees are under the hips, tops of the feet are on the floor. Take the hands forward. We're just going to do 3 circles in each direction with the hips. Let them be big or small. Let them be slow and mindful so you can enjoy the journey. Always be present for it. Once you've gone 3 in one direction, we'll go in the other. And then next time your shoulders are over your wrists, we're going to stay there. Keep the low tummy pulling in. Keep that low tummy pulling in and lifted. Your hips are in front of your knees right now. Another breath. Then we're going to lower down onto forearms. And keep that low tummy pulling in. Knees are down behind the hips. The modified forearm plank. Another breath here. And then begin to gently lower the tops of the thighs, the hips. Pull the floor towards you. You've got Sphinx. Nice full breath. Lengthen out the spine with the chin tuck a little bit. Floor is pulling towards you. Arms should be at a 90-degree angle. Another big inhale, big exhale. Then slowly start to lower the heart. Don't lower it all the way down. Just start to drop down. And then lift the arms and mindfully place the hands by your chest, keeping the heart lifted so there's little engagement going on there. Squeeze elbows towards each other, shoulders back, tuck the chin, try and lengthen the spine. Baby cobra. Feet are rooted, hips are rooted. Another breath here. And the next exhale, lower the heart and head to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra, or if you want to go up higher, feel free. Exhale, lower back down. One more, any cobra that feels right to you. And then lowering back down as you exhale. When you're ready, we're going to press up to tabletop. You might have to walk the hands back a little bit. Then we're going to take the left knee, root it down, but lift the left foot and spiral on the knee so the foot goes off the mat behind you. The right leg is going to come in line with the left knee and the left hand. So it's kind of like a modified side plank. And then that right arm is going to float up. The left knee is down with the foot behind you, off of the mat, off to the left. Ground down through the left hand, find length through fingertip to fingertip. And then flex the right foot, and lift it off the ground, parallel to the earth if you choose to. You can always keep it on the ground. Really flex energy out that heel. Lots of energy here. Pressing everything, all your energy out, all the limbs, grounding down through the hands and the left foot. And then little pulses, bringing the pinky edge of the foot up towards the ceiling. Starting to fire up that glute a little bit. Couple more pulses. Good. And then pause. We're going to take that right hand down as you very mindfully roll down the right foot to the floor and spiral on the left knee, bringing that foot back. You're going to step back into plank. Squeeze to the middle line. Another breath. This time we're going to drop the right knee down. Spiral the right foot off of the mat behind you. I'm just going to stay here with my back to you. Let your left foot come to your, in line with the right knee and the right hand, and the left arm lifts. Either stay here or start to lift the left leg parallel to the floor. Flex the foot. Hold the tummy in and lengthen up through the spine. And then little pulses with that left foot. Pinky edge of the foot, reaching up towards the ceiling. Another couple breaths. Good. And then pause, release the foot to the ground, take that left hand to the floor, mindfully spiral back, coming back into your tabletop. Let's press back for child's pose, 2 or 3 breaths. Feel free to roll the wrists a little. And we take ourselves back into tabletop. We curl the toes. And step it back into plank. Squeeze to the middle line. So thighs squeeze towards each other. Knees can always be down behind the hips. Press the earth away. Send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees, walking out a little bit. Roll the shoulders out of the ears. Reconnect to the mindful breath. Feel free to stay in down dog for 5 breaths, or we'll move through a vinyasa, or you can modify your vinyasa. Come forward into plank, lowering to the earth. Inhale. Exhale. And press the recline or tabletop back into downward facing dog. Nice full breath. Left leg extends behind you. Bring the knee to the nose, pull it in and up. Send it back. Step that left leg forward. Help it forward if it needs it. Get yourself into your low lunge. Squeeze thighs together, ground down, float up. High lunge. Take a nice full breath here. Big inhale. Big exhale. Right arm comes forward, left arm goes back with high twist. Your gaze can be forward, or you can send your gaze over to the left. Pull the tummy in. Another breath. Inhale, arms, left spiral back through center. Hands come to the floor, mindfully placing the hands down. Back leg's going to step to the front, forward, fold. Release the head, let it be heavy, maybe a couple little yes and no's to release the neck. Find your connection with the earth through your feet. Another full breath here. Inhale, come up halfway, straight spine, shoulders roll back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, fire up your glutes, and reverse swan dive. Take it all the way up. Straight back, straight arms, and then hands them to the heart as you exhale. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep the arms up. Big breath in, ready to look up towards the palms, and then exhale, forward fold. Hands come to the floor. Let's step back with the left leg, low lunge. Ground down through the legs, squeeze the thighs together, pulling that right hip back, and then float it up. Find your high lunge. Take a moment to settle in here. Try to work the thighs towards each other so square, pull the tummy in. And then the left arm's going to come forward, right arm's going to go back, nice high twist. Either keep the eye gaze forward or send it to the side or even behind you. Another breath here. Pull that low tummy in. Good, beautiful. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up, come back through center, and then exhale, place them down on either side of your right foot. Ground down through the hands, step it back, plank. Squeeze to the middle line, press the earth away. Knees can always come down. Move through your vinyasa or press straight back into down dog, or take a few breaths in child's pose. When you arrive, take a nice big breath in and a big breath out. Send your right leg behind you. Bring the knee to the nose, pull in and up. Squeeze and lift. And then send it back. Let's step that leg all the way forward. Help it forward if it needs it. As you ground down, we're going to float up. High lunge. Here we are again. Another breath. Inhale, reach up through your fingertips, straighten the front leg, come high on the back foot. And then as you exhale, we're going to open up into warrior two. So back heel is going to drop down, front knee is going to bend, arms lengthen out. Good. Taking another breath here. Check in with that front knee. Make sure it's in line with the second toe. Start to pull the edges of the mat to the center. So we fire up that inner thigh, lift up through the heart. Send some good energy up out the crown of the head. Another breath here. Good. Ground down, start to cartwheel the hands down. Back heel lifts. We're going to walk the hands forward a little teeny bit. Lift that left leg, standing L. Great place to be on blocks with your hands, or let the head drop down. Press energy out the left heel, left hip pulls down, so the hips are squared. Another breath. If you'd like to play with more balance, you can bring one hand to the ankle, maybe the other hand. When you feel ready, hands come to the floor, and then we step the feet together, forward, fold. Release the head, clasp the elbows here. Let the knees have a little bend. Take a good breath. Maybe the knees have a big bend here, so that's better for you. I'm going to release the arms. Start to send the tailbone to the sky, keeping the belly towards the thighs, the head towards the knee. Nice deep forward fold. Then ground down through the feet, little bend in the knees. Come up halfway, straight spine, make space. And forward fold. Reverse swan dive, take it all the way up. When your hands come to your heart, connect, receive, breathe. And a full breath here. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, right through center, forward fold. Ground down with the hands. We'll step back with the right leg, low lunge. Your foundation set, float it all the way up to your high lunge. Taking a breath, recenter. And then reach the fingertips to the sky, squeeze thighs together, straighten out that front leg and come up on the tippy toes of the back foot. Squeeze and lift. And then we bend the front knee, back heel drops down. We open up into warrior two. Check out what happens with that front knee. Try to work it towards the second toe if that works for you. Hips nice and spread. Feet rooted down on all the corners. And then pull the edges of the mat to the center, get a little more action in that inner thigh. Nice full breath. Jaw soft. Remembering not just making the shape, but be the shape. Breathe the shape. And then we'll mindfully cartwheel the hands down and around. Back heel's gonna lift. We're gonna walk the hands forward again. Let that right leg float up into standing L. Head might melt down. Keep that right foot flexed and energized, hips squared. Another breath here. You might lengthen out the spine, see how that feels for you today. You might choose to do a little more balance play by bringing one hand to the ankle, maybe the other hand, maybe not. Wherever you are today is just perfect. One more breath. Then we let the right foot come down to meet the left. Bend the knees, let the belly rest on the thighs, release the neck. You might shake it yes and no. And then grounding through the feet. Keep those knees bent. We're gonna roll up nice and slow. Keep the knees bent, please, the whole time. Head and shoulders roll up last. Roll those shoulders open the heart, Tadasana. Pick up some space, feel the energy in your body. Body and breath here and now. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up, clasp the hands up top, pointer finger points north, reach up towards the ceiling or the sky, and over to your right. I'm just mirroring you here, press down through the feet. Open up that left side body. Check in with what's happening with the hips. Gently push them to the left, but not too much. We still want them above the knees. And then inhale, come back through center. Exhale, take it to the other side. Nice full breath, ground down, open up the whole right armpit. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Root your hands down, take lots of little steps back to downward facing dog. Hang out in your down dog or move through a vinyasa, your choice. As you make your way into downward facing dog, extend the right leg behind you. Keep that leg lifted. We're going to flex the foot and start to bring the leg out to your right, any amount. So try to keep it lifted. It's going to be like an airplane wing. Another breath. Really press through that right hand. Send the leg back behind you again. Let's step it all the way forward. When you arrive, let the back heel drop down, ground the legs into your warrior two. Left arm lifts as we cartwheel up into warrior two. When you arrive, flip the front palm. Let's reverse it. Don't straighten the front leg. Keep that front leg bent. Reach through the right armpit, right fingertips. Ground down through the feet. Make your way around warrior two. Forearm to thigh. Sweep that left arm in front of the face, side angle. Left arm reaches up so the arm is by the ear. Rotate that shoulder open and the ribs towards the ceiling. Ground through the legs. Now notice how much weight you're putting in that right leg. Can you find a little more core strength so you're lifting off of that leg a little? Got this, another breath. Cartwheel back up to warrior two. And we cartwheel down, back heel lifts. Step it back, down dog. You've got a vinyasa if you want it. You can always hang out in child's pose or downward facing dog. We'll pick you up shortly. Be sure to keep the shoulders out of the ears as you flow through. Once you're in your dog, extend your left leg behind. Keep that foot flexed, and we're going to start to pull it out to the side like a wing, like an airplane wing. You can lift it as high as you can, only go to the point that feels safe for you. Take another breath. And then slowly bring it back through center, behind you. Then we step it forward. Tilt it forward if it needs it. Back heel drops down, warrior two legs. Bend the knees so they're nice and strong. Right arm reaches forward and we cartwheel up. Settle in. Allow your breath to just be. Flip the front palm, we reverse it. That front knee bent. Another breath. Back through warrior two, forearm to left thigh. Right arm sweeps in front of the face, roll the shoulder open, side angle. Find length from the outer edge of the right foot to the fingertips. And then find a little more core strength so you're not leaning so much on that front leg. Another good breath here. Ground down, float, back into warrior two. And then we cartwheel all the way down, back heel lifts. Step it back, you've got a vinyasa if you want it. We will all meet in child's pose, or if you prefer, you can take 5 breaths in downward facing dog. When you come to your dog or your child's pose, really take time to connect with the slow exhale. Slowing things down a little bit. Grounding, feeling the connection of the body to the earth, wherever you are. Let's all make our way into downward facing dog. As you arrive, let's take the left leg, send it back. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open things up a little bit. Let the foot be heavy towards the heel, only take it as deep as feels right for you. Roll the shoulders out of the ears, keep the shoulders squared to the floor. One more breath. Toes to the sky, square your hips, step that left leg all the way forward. And then you might grab hold of your blocks here. And we'll float ourselves into a modified warrior 3. Hips square. Taking another breath, grounding through that left leg. And we've got lots of options. You can hang out here. You can ground down through the left hand and the left leg and float that right hand to the right hip, working a little balance, maybe a lot of balance. And then start to stack the right hip over the left hip, opening up the foot so the pinky edge of the foot is now facing the ceiling. The toes are probably facing your right. And then right arm might lift. So we're in half move, maybe. And then check things out and use a little more core strength and maybe prop up onto fingertips. Keep your gaze to the floor for more grounding, or look up towards the ceiling for a little more challenge. Another 2 breaths here. Pull the pinky edge of the foot up. Yes. Beautiful. We're going to come out as slowly and as mindfully as we came in. So right hand to the right hip. Might ground down through that left hand. Square the hips. Right hand to the block. And let's step that right foot to meet the left. Bend the knees, belly to thighs. Relax the head. Arms are heavy. Keep those knees bent. Let's roll up slowly, one vertebra at a time. Keep those knees bent the whole time until the head lifts. Roll the shoulders if you feel dizzy, tuck the chin, take a few moments. Take up some space, Tadasana. Feel your body here and now, feel your breath. Good. Back down through the feet. Let's inhale, take up some space, breathe it in. As you exhale, right arm comes down. Reach up through the left and over, let the right arm be heavy. Inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, other side. Left arm down, right arm up and over. Inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, swan dive down to the floor. Forward fold. Go ahead and root your hands down. We're going to step back with the right leg. Ground through your hands. Step back with the left leg. Plank, squeeze to the middle line. Squeeze everything. Keep squeezing. Knees can always come down. Either move through your vinyasa or press straight through to downward dog. Nice full breath when you arrive. Let's extend the right leg behind. Bend the knees, stack the hips, open up. Let the heel melt towards the glute. Might find your shin a little bit. Might find your quad. Square the shoulders to the floor. One more breath here. Toes reach up towards the sky. Square your hips. Step that right leg forward, finding your low lunge. Once you arrive, you might take your hands forward onto the blocks. Float that left leg into the air. Modify warrior 3. Flex the foot, find length in the spine. Ground through the right leg. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you lower your left leg and come into a forward fold. Maybe you ground through the right hand and start to take your left hand to your left hip, working some balance here. Keep energy pushing out that left foot. It's going to help. And then you might start to stack the left hip on top of the right, opening up the pinky edge of the foot towards the ceiling. Maybe the left arm lifts. Breathe, decide where your drishti is. Maybe find a little more core strength, prop up onto your fingertips. Got it. Beautiful. Lift the pinky edge of the foot up a little bit more, maybe. And then we mindfully come out, hand to the hip. Square your hips to the floor. Hand to the block. Let's step the left foot to meet the right. Bend your knees. Belly rests on your thighs. Arms stable. Couple breaths. Ground through the feet, release the arms. Roll it up slowly, one vertebra at a time. Roll the shoulders when you arrive. Take up some space. Go inward, reconnect. Feel your body, feel your breath. Be here now. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, take the hands to the low back. Clasp them palm to palm. Roll the shoulders back. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Squeeze elbows towards each other. And then maybe the knuckles start to go down. Keep squeezing actively, shoulder blades and elbows towards each other. Heart lifts, tummy ribs pull in. Another breath. A little bend in the knees. Inhale, sweep all that good heart energy up. Exhale, forward fold. Begin to bend the knees. Take your hands forward a little bit to help counterbalance. Lower down. Keep crawling the fingers forward, lowering down into a squat, mat malasana. Our knees are parallel to one another. You can be on tippy toes or heels can be down. Your hands forward help to keep you balanced. And if you'd like, it's a little more challenge, bring the hands up. Lift the heart, shoulders out of the ears, press down through the feet. So we're not just collapsing. Another breath. Beautiful. Let's release the hands and then take one down by your side and asana. Take it down to the ground. So we're going to lower down. Let's grab the blocks. Let's grab a block, place it between the knees or the thighs. Take the hands forward. If you don't have a block, it's fine. You can even use a blanket if you have one. Lower down slowly. Keep the thighs actively moving inward, holding that block in place. When you get all the way down, feel free to adjust your ponytail. And just enjoy the comforts of the earth, the reconnection, and your breath. Let's go ahead and move the block aside, keep it handy. Bring the knees into the chest, a little roll from side to side. And we'll take any twist that you'd like. So if you like something deeper, you can cross the left leg over the right. Pull the knees in, take the arms wide, and let the legs start to flip down to your right side. If that's not comfortable for you, you might just stack the knees one on top of the other. Feel free to put the block between the knees or underneath them. Whatever works for you, letting that left shoulder draw heavy to the floor. The gaze is either towards the ceiling or the left fingertips. Eyes can close if you'd like. You take a couple of delicious breaths here. See if there's anything you can release with your exhale, finding a little bit more letting go. Just being here now, not worrying about where we're going or what's next. As far as you need to know, we might be here for the rest of the time. Let yourself settle in. Without changing anything, just welcome a nice full breath in and out. And then take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, pull the tummy in, use that energy to lift the legs back through center. And we'll just find a little roll from side to side. And when you feel ready, coming into the twist on the other side, knees stacked, or if you like the deeper version, right leg would come over left. And bring the legs down to the left. Give yourself support as you need. And softening from the forehead to the toes. Every exhale, it's a reminder to let go. Surrender. Just welcome a nice full inhale and exhale, breathe. When you're ready for another inhale, take that breath. As you exhale, pull the tummy in, start to fire up the core, bring the legs back through center, a little rolling from side to side. Now let the feet come flat to the floor with bent knees, hands by your side. We'll just move through a little moving bridge. Ground through the feet. Inhale. Actually, you know what? Let's take that block and put it between the thighs here. Squeeze the middle line. And then root down through the feet and lift the hips. Press through the arms and the shoulders to lift a little more. Keep the chin gently tucked so the neck is nice and neutral. And then as you're ready, exhale, you'll release the upper back, the mid back, and then the low back. Use your core to lower down nice and steady. Of course, if that hurts your low back at all, then don't come down rounded and just come down flat, straight. Just move through a few at your own pace. Inhale, lift the hips. You find a little more glute action to create stability. And then as you exhale, lowering down, using core to find that stability. If you want to take the arms up and over the head, feel free to do that. Inhale, lifts, arms up and over the head, the hips rise. And as the hips lower, the hands slowly lower by your side, and everything, hips and hands, land to the earth at the same time. We'll do one more, make it yours. In your own time, when the hands and hips land on the ground, take a nice full breath in and out. Let's take that block or whatever's between the legs and lift the hips, place the block underneath the sacrum on the lowest setting. So the triangular shaped bone at the base of your spine should feel pretty comfortable on that block. And either hang out there or let the knees float above the hips. We're trying to find letting go here, so if this takes a lot of energy and effort, then keep the feet on the floor. If you'd like to float the legs up, again, it's about effortlessness, so we're just looking for the floating experience. If it's a lot of effort for your core or your hamstrings, then maybe keep the feet on the floor. Take a few breaths, just let the feet float and swim as though they are seaweed at the bottom of the ocean, just being guided by the water and the current. Feel the rise and fall of the belly wherever you are. Allowing the full belly breaths with long, slow exhales. And prepare your body for rest, which is coming and here. Take 3 more unhurried, nurturing breaths. Not about getting through them, it's about being in them. If you feel ready, you can place your feet to the floor if they're not there already. Just mindful as you place them down. Feel the connection of the feet with the earth as they land. And feeling into the texture underneath the feet, the temperature. And then pressing the hips up, move the block aside. Keep those hips lifted. And then mindfully lower down for the breath. When you land, take a nice big cleansing breath. Big inhale. Big exhale. Let's give ourselves a hug. Bring those knees in. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. Maybe think of 3 things that you're grateful for. Try not to think too hard about it. Just let them come to your heart. And you feel complete, make your way into Shavasana. Give yourself any comforts that will work for you or support. When you do arrive, you might invite the palms to face up so the shoulders roll open. Just let the feet flop out. Take a nice big mindful breath, filling all the divine healing of this practice. Then exhale, receiving and softening into the cloud. You let go. Taking this time to just be, receive your breath as the body breathes itself. Become aware of your effortless breath. Watch it as it moves in and as it moves out. And we'll choose to deepen and lengthen that breath. Giving a fuller inhale and a more complete exhale. And inviting your body to move a bit as you bring in that life force. Any wiggles of the fingers and toes. And eventually stretching out the arms and the legs. Maybe you can find a yawn. There's no rush, but when you feel ready, roll yourself over to one side. Take a moment to just be here now. fully allow yourself to be held in this space. Planting the top arm into the earth. Slowly start to press the earth away and let that guide you up to a comfortable seat. Keep the eyes stay closed, stay connected inward as best you can. You can always find a soft gaze to the floor. And as you arrive, and lengthen the spine, opening up that channel to receive and connect to the universe and the earth. Feel into the stillness inside. Notice, receive and be. Just bring your palms together in front of your heart. And with gratitude, we'll take a nice full breath in. Full releasing exhale. And going down. The grace, that wisdom, the beauty that lives within you, me, and all of us. Namaste. Thank you, everybody.